Global TV News Express. President Tinubu directs immediate review of security operations in Katsina State. In business, Bureau of Public Enterprise lists 91 federal assets for privatization. On the foreign scene, United Nations worries over growing restriction ahead of Cameroon election. And in sports, Remo Stars shift focus to Warri Wolves after a hard-fought win in Aba. Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwegwe, reminding all our viewers that we are on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. President Bola Tinubu has directed an immediate review of security operations in Katsina State with a pledge to strengthen the fight against banditry through the deployment of advanced military hardware and surveillance gadgets. Speaking at the State House in Abuja at the reception of a delegation led by Katsina State Governor Diko Rada, the president emphasized that Nigeria's security challenges are manageable. Here is Ramsey Agbo's report.
President Bola Tinubu says there is need for security outfits that understand local terrain and culture, adding that the daily feedback on security operations in the state must be provided. He added that his administration is reviewing all aspects of security and would holistically consider creating state police.
I'm reviewing all the aspects of the security. It might be necessary, instead of all this civilian, this Metacon, this, or JTVFT, civilian, that, and we might have to create state police. We are looking at that holistically. We will defeat security. It will be effective. We must protect our children, our people, and our livelihood, and places of worship and places of recreation. They can't intimidate us. On one hand, the forest guard is being empowered.
I'm sure God, Allah and His infinite mercy will be with you.
For honoring the late president, Muhammadu Buhari, with a true state funeral, Masari assured the president of the loyalty of the state.
I am sure God, Allah and His infinite mercy will be with you. We are assuring you that under the leadership of the governor, Dr. Umar Dukwarada, Katsina will be delivered in all elections to APC, inshallah.
Waziri of Katsina, Senator Ibrahim Ida, commended President Tinubu's efforts to ensure the timely completion of the Kano-Maradi rail projects and other infrastructures in the state. Ida said the Umaru Musa Yar'Adua International Airport needed an upgrade to optimize its usage.
At this juncture, Mr. President, allow me to point out that despite the state's very limited and meager financial resources, the state government, the Katsina state government, has expended well over 40 billion naira on security assets, training, and other logistics supports for our national security agencies, particularly those domiciled in Katsina. These are much needed funds which could have been judiciously utilized to provide infrastructure and other much needed social services to our community.
With assurance of loyalty from leaders of Katsina State and renewed commitment from the presidency, the review of security operations is expected to pave the way for more decisive action against banditry while strengthening the push for community-driven policing. Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global TV News.
Thank you, Ramsey. In a different development, President Bola Tinubu says education is the greatest weapon in the fight against poverty, empowering individuals to overcome financial challenges and build a better future through inclusiveness and equitable access. He made these remarks during the reception of the show of Ogbomosho Oba Gandhi Afolabi Oladuni Oromo Gege III at the State House in Abuja. President Bola Tinubu highlighted the importance of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, a groundbreaking initiative established under the Student Loans Act. The president emphasized that his administration is committed to investing resources to guarantee that every Nigerian child has access to quality education, regardless of socio-economic background. He further noted that the ongoing reforms would not only break the cycle of poverty, but also equip young Nigerians with the skills to drive national development and secure the country's future.
We've established NEL Fund for the students, that no one will be a dropout because of level of poverty. Everybody is entitled to education. It's the greatest weapon that you can give to human beings against poverty. That's what we've been doing. We are renewing aggressively our infrastructure. And it's just 2 years. I'm glad to report to you today that the economy is stabilized. The bleeding has stopped. The hemorrhage is gone. The patient is alive. Nigeria is alive. Nigeria is respected. Nigeria is becoming a great business partner to the rest of the world.
Earlier in his speech, Oba Gandhi Afolabi Oladuni Orumogege III commended President Tinubu for his unwavering commitment towards the Nigerian youth. The monarch praised the president's visionary leadership, particularly his focus on youth empowerment, education reform, and socio-economic inclusion. Oba Gandhi Afolabi expressed optimism that the ongoing initiatives would uplift communities and foster a new generation of skilled, confident, and socially responsible Nigerians.
The ASU strike that used to happen, which was a perennial problem, one way or the other, you've been able to tackle it. We have the student thing. Now, the funding that has been given to indigent students who they would probably not have been able to afford it. Now they have access to these funds. And your commitment towards the youth development in this country, we can see it. And we believe that in 2 years, it's amazing the things that are difficult, the things that were the big gorilla in the room that everybody has ignored. But because of your person and the boldness that you have confronted all of them. And we have come to say that your actions are not going unnoticed. And I believe that the difficult times for Nigerians, we are surely seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Additionally, President Bola Tinubu received King Alfred Dietes Piv, the Amayanabo of Tuombras Kingdom, at the presidential villa in Abuja. Uyi Agmofwegbe reporting for Global TV News. Let's turn to matters of health now. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has called for immediate and sustained efforts to expand healthcare access across Nigeria, particularly in rural and underserved areas. Speaking at the unveiling of the Care 365 Health Hub in Abuja, Obasanjo emphasized that healthcare is a universal necessity, remarking that only the dead are not concerned about health. Anietie Patrick completes the report.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo and his successor, Goodluck Jonathan, and former military head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, have expressed concern over the persistent lack of basic medical infrastructure, which forces many Nigerians to travel long distances to receive care. They lauded the Care 365 initiative, a tech-driven platform featuring smart health kiosks and telemedicine services as a critical step towards bridging the healthcare gap and reaching low-income communities with quality medical services. They also criticized past administrations for neglecting healthcare development and called on current stakeholders to ensure that digital innovations like Care 365 are deployed effectively where they are most needed.
I urge Minister, I urge you to fully integrate Care 365 into our primary health care and emergency system. To state governments, adopt and domesticate it. To donors and development partners, support it. To the private sector, invest in it, particularly the banks.
Let me use such opportunity to plead with Nigerians, young men and women who are good in technology to come up with different products like this to move our country forward. In those days, we talked about the Industrial Revolution, Agric Revolution, etc., etc. The digital revolution has kick-started various revolutions under the digital revolution. You talk about health, you talk about agric, you talk about law. Yes, everything is linked up with digital revolution.
There's no facility all over the country to access medical care. So this Care 365, working together with the Ministry of Health and the state governments, will provide an answer to this problem.
Also speaking at the event, Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare Professor Ali Pate officially launched the Care 360 Health Hub, a complementary digital healthcare initiative. Professor Pate described Care 360 as a reflection of the federal government's commitment to building an accessible, affordable, and efficient healthcare system. He explained that the platform aligns with the national strategy to improve health governance, enhance outcomes, unlock the healthcare value chain, and strengthen Nigerians' health security. He noted that the launch marks a significant milestone in Nigeria's digital health transformation and reaffirmed the administration's focus on building people-centered healthcare system that serves all Nigerians regardless of location or income level.
Opportunity for our healthcare system to leapfrog, and it fits squarely within the context of what this administration is trying to do. The transformation of Nigeria's health system is on the way. Under the leadership of His Excellency President Ahmed Tinubu, we had a four-pillar strategy, one of which is governance, to ensure that we orient our health system to serve our people, to work with states, federal government, local governments, civil society, private sector, to orient our system to serve the needs of our population and to ensure that no one is left behind.
The reason for this vision is to make accessible healthcare, affordable healthcare, quality healthcare, and available healthcare available to the citizens of Nigeria. We are here to envision and to support the federal ministry, agencies, and businesses to be able to provide adequate care for every citizen.
With the unveiling of Care 365 and Care 360 Health Hubs, stakeholders say Nigeria is taking a bold step towards bridging healthcare gaps through digital innovation, with hopes that these initiatives will bring quality and affordable medical services closer to every Nigerian, especially those in rural communities. Annie T. Patrick, reporting for Global TV.
Thank you so very much, Annie T. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has appointed Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintri of Adamawa State as chairman of the National Convention Organizing Committee ahead of its 2025 elective National Convention. The inauguration took place at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja. Ubong Usoro reports.
Governor Fintiri will lead a 110-member committee that includes high-profile figures such as Ademola Adeleke of Osun State as Deputy Chairman, Kabiru Turaki as Deputy Chairman second, and Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State as Secretary. Other prominent members of the committee are PDP Board of Trustees Chairman Senator Adolphus Wabara, National Chairman Ambassador Umar Damagu, former Vice President Namadi Sambo, and several serving governors, including Bala Muhammad of Bauchi State, Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, and Governor Geleb Mufwang of Plateau State.
That this party, like I've always reiterated, is above any personal interest or any individual. I want to make this clear. Ironically, many of these destructive voices have come from individuals who have benefited immensely from the party.
Kamagu charged the committee to work with unity of purpose, stressing that the outcome of the convention will determine the party's strength and readiness ahead of the 2027 general elections.
We are with you on this journey as governors, and we will show that we believe in the capacity of the regulator, INEC. We are confident that it is a very varied and good organization, driven by the rule of law. This convention is on course, our party is on course to make sure we have our party.
The PDP's Governors Forum Chairman Bala Muhammad of Bauchi State assured the committee of the full support of PDP governors, describing the convention as a turning point to reposition the party for victory in future elections.
I want to tell you, every stakeholder in this party is my friend, but I will not place this party or our relationship above this party. I will deliver on my assignment. I will ensure what is expected of me is what is done, and I accept, along with 119 members, this assignment on behalf of our party with all humility.
The convention has been scheduled for November the 15th and 16th in Ibadan, Oyo State. Party leaders say the event will serve as a platform to foster unity and strengthen the PDP ahead of the 2027 polls. Governor Fintiri's appointment has been widely seen as a vote of confidence in his leadership, following a successful coordination of the PDP National Convention in 2021. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
This is Global Television. You're watching the live broadcast of News Express with Uyi Agumofwebe. When the rest of the news returns, Bureau of Public Enterprise lists 91 federal assets for privatization. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories for you on the other side of this break. Please do stay with us. The second part of this news broadcast returns with business. The federal government says plans are underway to privatize and commercialize 91 public enterprises in a bid to reposition critical sectors of the economy, attract private investment, as well as ensure efficiency in service delivery. Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, Ayodeji Belei, disclosed this at a media briefing in Abuja. Business correspondent Kikalamo Okere has more.
The Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, Ayodeji Belei, explained that the privatization process will be handled gradually, sector by sector, to safeguard national interest and deliver maximum benefits to Nigerians. According to him, the assets cut across oil and gas, agriculture, aviation, mine and steel, transportation, ecotourism, as well as agencies under Federal Capital Territory Administration. The Director General further reveals that while 35 of the firm will be fully privatized, 57 others will undergo partial privatization. He emphasized that the reform process will be guided by business case analysis, supported by financial, legal, and technical advisors.
The mandate of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, defining which public enterprises to be either privatized, commercialized, and in commercialization, we also talk about concession. concession is a form of commercialization. So, of course, when we get to that bridge, we will cross it. When we get onto the transaction, we will determine the most optimal transaction.
Ayodeji Gbeleyi pointed to the transformation of the telecommunications sector as evidence that privatization can unlock economic potential. He also highlighted ongoing reform in the power sector, which he says are creating new jobs, transferring skills to Nigerian youths, and expanding opportunity in the global markets.
To expect. And it's not all transactions that we sell. In Zungeru, for example, the government concessioned the 700 megawatt hydropower plant. It's not so. So it's like hiring an operator to run it for government. And that operator pays an annual concession fee. The same thing was done with Kainji and Jeva power plants. The same thing was done with Shiroro power plant. So it's not at all time that we sell government enterprises.
With 91 enterprises lined up for reform, the Bureau of Public Enterprises says its goal is to reposition national assets to drive growth, create jobs, and enhance Nigerians' competitiveness in the global economy. Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News.
On the foreign scene, the United Nations says growing restrictions in Cameroon surrounding presidential elections scheduled for October are raising fears about whether voters can freely choose their candidates. This is coming as President Paul Biya, the world's oldest head of state at 92, seeks a new 7-year term to extend his nearly 43 years in power in an election scheduled for October 12th. United Nations Rights Chief Volker Turk made a case for a safe and enabling human rights environment that is essential for peaceful, inclusive, and credible elections, stating that this is, however, not the case in Cameroon. Spokesman in the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, Jeremy Lawrence, cited an incident on August 7 when Giordane Yegba, a former senior member of the opposition African Movement for New Independence and Democracy, was escorted off air by security forces 8 minutes into a live television interview.
Recently, a live television interview with a political figure was interrupted by security forces. These developments come following the suspension of 3 civil society organisations and the banning of 2 others in December last year, and restrictions that were imposed on the operations and funding of some civil society groups.
There have also been concerns regarding the exclusion of some political figures from the race, as well as irregularities in voter registration. The report also cited opposition candidates and their supporters who had been intimidated and threatened.
Ahead of the presidential election in October, growing restrictions on civic and democratic space in Cameroon are raising fears about whether voters can freely express their will. We are today calling on the government of Cameroon to ensure an environment conducive to a free, transparent, inclusive and genuine vote. Several gatherings have been banned amid rising restrictions on the activities of opposition political parties in the lead-up to the vote.
Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights said last month Cameroonian security forces had arrested at least 53 opposition supporters who were accused of public disorder, unlawful assembly, rebellion, and incitement to revolt. Uyi Agbomofwegbe reporting for Global TV. And that's it on News Express. A quick reminder that Global Televisions on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using Global TV NG, as well as other handles as you now see on your screen. I am Uyi Agbomofwegbe saying a big thank you to you for watching. Bye-bye.